COM and the other programs for long-term success.
Well, you heard Dr. Calhoun's testimony earlier.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he talked about his priorities were patient safety and then accreditation. Have you had any conversations with LCME, the Liaison Committee for Medical Education, regarding whether or not you could get a school accredited running on that shoestring budget?
Yes. In addition to all the other things I mentioned, the LCME Secretary General and Assistant Secretary General have been on our campus. They came here October a year ago, and we've been in conversations with them throughout this process. About every 2 months we meet with them, whether in person or on the phone. They're quite excited about the opportunity to have this combined, a DO and an MD's medical school on campus, leveraging each other's resources as well as the other things. So yes, we believe, and that's part of what the Pricewaterhouse and Deloitte group has helped us with as well, is what is it going to take to go through accreditation.
Have they, do you have something in writing from them, or?
Until we submit the application, the database is called for accreditation, and then they do a site visit, we will not know about accreditation, so they won't give us anything preliminary, but they have worked with us on developing this preliminary business plan. If approved by the legislature, we would take, the next step would be going through that accreditation process, which will take about 1.5 years or so process.
It takes time, but it also, you heard testimony again just from Dr. Calhoun, but I think it'd be true that accreditation takes a certain amount of money, and you're already looking at starting a medical school for roughly 1/4 the cost. And Dr. Calhoun's worried about his, not to pitch you against him, but just because that's the most recent testimony, he's worried about his accreditation with the cuts that are at hand. And I dare say, if you had $100 million for the medical school and we were going to cut you to $25 million, I'm sure you'd be thinking, if you were thinking in the same mindset that he is how do you protect your patients, but how do you get accredited? And it's easier to maintain accreditation than it is to get accreditation. And that would also lead me to, you've got these great set of credentials for your school. How much of your time and your administration time is spent working with this allopathic school in the face that your board scores are down and student satisfaction's down, and how much of your time is being taken away from your primary mission of your osteopathic school?
We've been doing all the missions. As you can see in all the numbers, we've grown our classes, we've grown our research, we've grown our clinical enterprise, and all of them are bigger and all of them are better. Our test scores for the last 4 years in a row have been right at the top in the country in the osteopathic profession. We've been either first or second or third in the country every time for Part 1 and Part 2 of the boards. That's something we're very, very proud of. We've had a 94% USMLE pass rate for the students that take the USMLE. Average is about 92.5% pass rate for all MD granting medical schools. So we have very, very good test scores.
You still have good scores, but they're down.
We've had 3 years in a row of 99-point-something% pass rates. Last year we had a 96.8% pass rate, and what the COMLEX group did is the pass rate nationwide went down. So actually our ranking nationwide for the COMLEX is still right at the very top. It's not that we've gone down in the rankings of the COMLEX scores. They did choose to make it a much more rigorous exam, which still puts us at 96.6% pass rate. This is very, very exemplary.
I have information here that you lost your top ranking on Complex 1 and Complex 3. You're telling me that's not true?
We've been at the top, not necessarily the top, but top 1, 2, or 3 for the last several years, 4 or 5 years now.